William here with Patriot Containers. I had a topic that popped into my brain. If you're new to my channel, thanks for watching. I used to work for horrible container companies 13 years ago, and they did nothing right for the customers I was selling to. And I decided to start a cargo container company 11 years ago to do the right thing. The sole purpose of my YouTube channel is exposing the evolution of what these companies are doing to you guys, and it gets worse and worse and worse. The topic of this video is kind of like relationships and trust with drivers. Why do you get containers with holes from these bad companies? Why are the containers never delivered on the right day? With that being said, as I try my hardest to make these videos of more like education versus sales pitches. If I sit here and tell you I'm the best and this is what I do right and please call me, you're not going to believe that my videos are genuine with the information that I'm bringing you. But I have to kind of make examples of good versus bad. And that being said, is if you're watching this for the first time, I've been in business for 11 years and I've sold 15 to 20,000 containers and I have 0 employees. And still to this day, I don't have a single complaint from anybody that ever bought a container from me. That's basically unheard of in this industry. So that being said, that means I do things right for the customers so they don't complain. I'm not going to sit here and say I've never had a complaint. I've had complaints, but it's over the phone. And if you handle the situation correctly, the customer won't leave a complaint. If you do the right thing for your customers, they won't leave complaints. If you totally screw over your customers and leave them out to hang and dry and you lied to them to make sales, and then everything that was told in the beginning wasn't the truth, they're going to leave complaints. And a lot of these companies just leave you out to hang and dry. Thanks for your business. Goodbye. And they don't care. Well, because I own a business in an industry that's getting worse and worse and worse, my only outlet is to expose how these companies are doing it. Again, back to the title of this video is like trust and driver relationships. I have drivers that have been delivering containers for me for 11 to 10 years. These are people that I talk to on a daily basis. We talk politics, we talk barbecue, we talk wives. I have made a friendship with my drivers, and my drivers trust me very much. If I tell my driver, hey, how soon can you deliver? And he tells me a date. If I was to have him put me on that schedule and my customer never ordered, but he's been saving that one date for a customer that I never sold to. If I did that constantly to my driver, he would never believe me and he would never put me on the schedule because he thinks I'm total bullshit. So a lot of times when you guys call me, I can call my driver and go, hey, I got a 40 or a 20 footer going from here to there. What day can you do it? If you are 98% sure you're going to buy from me, I'll have my driver put you on the schedule. And that's the day we're going to deliver, unless it starts raining like crazy and there's mud involved. But my drivers trust me. Now, if you have a company that constantly calls their drivers and doesn't schedule correctly, the drivers don't trust those bad companies. They're not going to put you as a customer on their schedule based off of the company's word because the company doesn't follow through. That's why these companies take months to deliver containers. Their drivers do not trust them. So, and I almost guarantee that in the beginning of when they started their business, the same drivers that I talk to on a daily basis and shoot the shit, they also, some do, some don't, do deliveries for these Pinocchio rookie companies. And we laugh at them constantly. We always make jokes and talk about how shitty they are. And I've called numerous companies and said, hey, have you done deliveries for these guys? And they go, yeah, we used to. We don't anymore. And I go, why? And they go, well, they have us put on the schedule, and then they wait till the very last second to send us the, one driver actually told me this. He said, they send us the release number late at night, so we have to pick up in the evening and drop off at night. Drivers don't want to deal with that. They want to know that if you're put on the schedule, that the company is going to get the release information to pick up the container and the order information so they can pick up the container and it's done like clockwork. But these companies don't offer a service like that. It's a big shit show. So these drivers literally don't trust a word that they say. And now that's just business ethics and scheduling. I have drivers all the time that go, hey, William, you want us to put you on the schedule? And I go, no, I don't know if this customer is going to order from me. I don't want you to put it on the schedule. If they order, I will have you put it on the schedule. So my drivers over the years have trusted me. And this is another thing. When it comes to paying people, if you don't pay the shipping lines, they won't trust you. If you don't pay your drivers, they won't trust you. In 11 years in this business, I've never bitten the hand that feeds me. With no drivers, you don't have deliveries. With no containers, you don't have sales and you don't have a business. Never bite the hand that feeds you. Always take care of your drivers, always take care of the shipping lines, and number one, always take care of your customers and they won't complain. Now, if a company, so over the years, in 11 years in this business, the first 2 years of when I started my business, I used to purchase wind and watertight containers. And I noticed that by selling wind and watertight containers, it started causing a lot of problems where people, even though you sold it to them with the truth, they still complained. I got sick and tired of it. And I said, well, I can't control my buyer, but I can control my business and I can control the product that I buy and the product that I deliver. So about 9 years ago, I decided I'm not selling to people that want junk anymore. I'm going to sell good used containers called cargo worthy, real cargo worthy, and then IICL, and then new one trips. I sell to smart people. I don't sell to dumb people. And here's a great philosophy. If you give a picky person with what they want, they will be happy. If you give a unpicky person with what they want, they will be unhappy. And it's the truth. Everybody wants a cheap container with no holes up until they see it, and then they don't want the container. If you have a rusty piece of junk, and I'm talking about rusty, with no holes, you're going to be pissed off. But if I delivered you a brand new one with a hole in it, you'll keep it. Guaranteed. So that being said, so 9 years ago, I decided to do the right thing with delivering better containers, telling the truth, and delivering on time, and providing not only a sale, but a service behind it. And that's why I don't have any complaints. Now, these companies that buy damaged and as-is containers, put yourself in the driver's shoes. If you're picking up from the bad companies, and every time you pick up, it's a rusty piece of junk or a damaged container, and when the driver picks up that container, if his release number is attached to the words as is or damaged, whatever that forklift operator is bringing out, it ain't going back. That's the container you're going to receive, and there's nothing that they can do about it. If the company has sold you that and you go to pick it up, the forklift operator ain't changing that. If the invoice says wind and watertight and there's no holes in it, and it looks like absolute horrible hell, if there's no holes in it, it's wind and watertight, and the forklift ain't putting it back. Now, if it's a horrible container with holes in it and the driver actually looks, but see, that's the thing about trust with these drivers. They don't trust these companies anymore. They pull up, they get loaded, they probably don't even open the doors, they don't even look to see if it has holes because they don't trust the company that they're picking up for. They know they purchase crappy containers. Well, my drivers don't do that. My drivers know that every time they pick up, it better be cargo worthy, it better be IICL, or it better be new one trip. And that's what my release numbers actually say. My release numbers for every single one of my customers match with what my customer bought. My drivers always call me and go, "Hey, William, I'm here to pick up this container. It's looking kind of rough." I have to drop everything that I'm doing and say, "Hey, don't leave." And I have to call the shipping line or the depot. If there's money involved, I have to give the forklift operator personal money out of my pocket to go put that container back so my customer gets a good container. That's the service that I provide. These other companies won't lose a penny on you. So the drivers just don't care. They pick up, they go, whatever you get is whatever you're going to get. These companies don't care, is my point. They don't care if you don't like it. They don't care with what day it's going to be delivered. They're already covered because they have a system that benefits the business from any wrongdoing, but screws over their customers. But yeah, I talk to a lot of these drivers. I've called a lot of drivers across the United States, and they say, yeah, every time we pick up for them, it's either damaged or as is. So that's how you guys are getting crappy containers. And the drivers, they can't do anything about it. I read the complaints on these companies, and the business owner's response are, "Oh, we're so sorry, it's the driver's fault." It's not the driver's fault. It's the company's fault for what they purchased you. The poor driver is just the guy picking it up and delivering it to you and trying to make a living for himself. So yes, there is a lot of trust with drivers. And with some of these horrible companies, if you were promised 7 to 10 days for delivery, it's not the driver's fault that it was late. It's the company's fault for not scheduling it. Or maybe the driver doesn't trust that this company is actually going to email them the information that needs to be sent so the driver can pick it up at the right time to deliver it on the right day. They don't trust these companies because they run a shit show operation. So if these companies are selling so many containers and they put us on the schedule, put us on the schedule, put us on the schedule, and they never email over the order to the driver, the driver is just filling up their schedule with ghost orders, I guess you could say, where they're just not even. So this guy's trying to make a living and a schedule to keep up with, and there's no orders coming in. They have the orders, they're just not getting the release information emailed over because these companies run a shit show operation and the drivers don't trust them anymore. They just don't. Eventually one day, and I've talked to so many drivers that say we refuse to deliver for these companies. Well, do you think that they stop selling in those areas? No, they're going to take your order, knowing they don't even have a driver to deliver it. But when you cancel because you are sick and tired of waiting, they're going to get paid anyways. They're going to charge you a cancellation fee. If the driver goes to pick up and it's an as-is container, you're going to get a rust bucket piece of junk with holes in it because that's what the company purchased for you, and the driver can't do anything about it. That's what you're getting. And so he is mentally trained that he's picking up for this Pinocchio rookie company, and there's nothing he can do other than get bitched at by the customer. And it's not the driver's customer, it's the company's customer. And he has to deal with it, and he has to get paid, and he has to deal with all that crap. Some of these companies, they'll use a driver for 10 times and every delivery is $600. And so the driver's owed $6,000. And some of these companies won't even pay their driver. They'll just keep the money. And that poor guy used his own gas, his own time. He has to pay for his mortgage, his family, food on the table. And these companies screw over their drivers. That's why they're brokers and pieces of crap. So, yeah, I've built trust with my drivers on a really good relationship where I can shoot the shit and I don't even have to talk about containers with these guys. I talk about politics. I talk about, we joke about these Pinocchio rookie companies of how much of an idiot operation that they run. The shipping line's the same way. I talk to the same shipping lines that these guys buy from, and we joke and laugh at them because they see the containers that, let's say this horrible company and my company is ordering from the same shipping line. Well, I have access to all the crappy containers that these guys are selling you. I just don't purchase them. They purchase them. And the reason why I know that is because I talk to the same shipping lines. They're like, yeah, this is what they purchase. And we've read and I go, have you read their terms and conditions? And they go, yeah, like, we can't believe that they've designed a system that is allowed to get away with that. So, yeah, there's some drivers where they refuse to work for these companies because there's no trust. The drivers cannot depend on the company to actually follow through with doing what is supposed to be done correctly. Anyways, guys, I could probably ramble around in circles about that, but it's a good education of seller and relationship with the drivers, and why sometimes you guys are getting containers with holes from these other companies, and then sometimes why they're not delivered on time. It's never the driver's fault, ever. It's always the company's fault. They just never can be accountable, and they want to shift blame and go, oh, so sorry, it's not our fault. It is their fault. It is their fault. And you trusted them. You trusted the companies that you guys think are the best are the ones you can't trust the most. Now, I have a perfect way of spotting these companies. Hopefully you're still watching. If you go on Google and type in the worst cargo container companies to buy from, BBB, press enter and see what Google AI says. If you want to try a different way, type in the cargo container companies with the most complaints. See what Google says. It's going to say it for me. I don't need to say it anymore. So anyways, guys, that's it. Container education, exposing this industry of what these companies are doing to you guys. And I guess that's what my, although I do sell containers, I like to, I guess, be the whistleblower of exposing bad companies ripping you guys off. And I'm proud of that. So have a great one. Goodbye.